Next, it's my great privilege to introduce Ms. Vicki Stylianou, Head of Advocacy and Policy at the Institute of Public Accountants. Vicki, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Chair, dignitaries and colleagues. My name is Vicki Stylianou and I'm very privileged to be here at the US Congress. Thank you. Can you hear me? Entrepreneurship is a critical driver of competition and innovation in most modern economies, particularly the United States. And as such, it plays an important role in improving living standards. Its importance to economic activity and community well-being cannot be overstated. However, despite this, it is not adequately reflected in most headline economic and financial indicators that governments rely on, and consequently, it has not received the prominence and support it deserves. We need to reflect and harness the energy and drive of entrepreneurs, from grassroots to the unicorn startups, to build the world that we and future generations deserve. How are we going to achieve this? I would like to make 3 suggestions. Firstly, we need to change the way we measure economic success. Secondly, we need to create the right environment for unicorns and entrepreneurs to flourish. Thirdly, we need to change the collective mindset to achieve the first 2 suggestions. My first suggestion is about developing more inclusive measures of economic activity to capture entrepreneurial effort and the things that matter to many people, such as the quality of the natural environment, societal values, transparency, and accountability. Economists such as Nobel laureate Amartya Sen have for decades sought improved measures of economic health compared to GDP. Even though it has served us well and will continue to be used by many countries, GDP is not a measure of consumption or the distribution of economic or social welfare, and it certainly cannot account for environmental degradation. The kind of society we build depends on the way we do our accounts, because this determines how we put a value on things. So far, we have environment, society, governance, ESG. We have sustainable development goals, integrated reporting, degrowth economics, frugal economics, circular economics, and many others. However, to move forward, we need consistency and coordination. We saw some progress with the announcement at COP26 last November to establish the International Sustainability Standards Board, ISSB. The ISSB aims to create a standardized, consistent, and comparable global baseline for sustainability reporting that is held to the same rigor as financial reporting. The ambition is for the ISSB standards to be adopted by most countries over the next few years. This could be a good starting point to move to a more meaningful measure of economic activity. We sincerely hope that the United States takes an active leadership role in the convergence process and that it will embrace the standards. If not, US companies doing business abroad may be subject to sustainability disclosure standards that their regulator had no hand in writing. I turn now to unicorn startups. These are companies that have achieved $1 billion valuation, usually within their first 3 to 5 years, and like the mythical animals, are very rare. Unicorns are a proxy and symbol for entrepreneurial spirit, for disruption, innovation, complexity, and risk-taking. In order for unicorns to be created, we need an ecosystem to support them, with access to adequate financial and human capital and much more. The rest of the startups and small businesses need to be inspired by these high growth companies. It doesn't matter that the vast majority won't reach unicorn status. We still need to develop the ecosystem for them to have the opportunity to thrive and succeed. Why do we need a stampede of unicorns? Because the problems we face are urgent: climate risk, war, global pandemics, and so on. We need to act collectively and to move quickly. Entrepreneurs, symbolized by unicorns, are a critical element in overcoming these urgent global issues. Building on my first suggestion, if we have a commonly shared system of measurement that captures the wider social values, then this will provide incentives for entrepreneurs to seek innovative ways to address the challenges of our time. My final suggestion beyond measuring and reporting is that we all need to develop a collective mindset. The government's this mindset would mean reducing unnecessary red tape and regulation, assessing value creation, supporting creativity, sharing the mountains of data collected by government agencies, and focusing on global coordination and collaboration. For entrepreneurs and MSMEs, the COVID pandemic has changed the mindset in terms of driving changes to more sustainable and ethical business models. In Australia, the pandemic forced 74% of MSMEs to change how they operate, especially to build resilience for future shocks. International agencies and forums like ISSB and ICSB are well placed to lead the charge. They provide examples of bodies that have recognized a problem, built a consensus, and are now designing a credible solution. But they can't do it without government involvement and support. Finally, measuring our economic activity to reflect the world that we want, harnessing the spirit of unicorns and entrepreneurs and adopting their mindset will serve us well in achieving the revolution we need to create the world we and future generations deserve. Thank you.
Ms. Vicki, we thank you and we recognize the work you have done with IPA and also your excellent conference in May on the unicorns. And ICSB will recognize you with a gavel for this occasion.